On August 6, 1967, 37-year-old Beatriz Garcia was walking on Miramar Beach, enjoying the smell of the sea and the warm summer breeze. Something in the sky caught her attention, and when she looked up, she saw several large disks moving quickly toward the Atlantic Ocean. Once they were several miles off the coast, the objects suddenly disappeared. She wasn't the only one who witnessed these UFO. Thousands of other locals also reported seeing the disks, and an article even made the local paper. The sightings have continued to this day. Before long, everyone was convinced that these weren't just weather balloons or swamp gas or whatever other excuses the government likes to use, but something much more unusual. You see, over the years, a legend has developed amongst the people of the area. According to their belief, extraterrestrial beings operate the UFOs and inhabit an underground mothership known as Amupac. According to the legend, the aliens are studying the locals like a scientist studying their lab rat. And like any good scientist, the aliens protect the subjects of the experiment from any external interference such as, you guessed it, hurricanes. I mean, if I had to choose between an umbrella and some intergalactic guardians, you know which one I'm picking. Miramar Beach is located in Ciudad de Madero, a city in the state of Tamaulipas. In 1966, a year before the first sightings of UFOs, Category 3 Hurricane Inez wreaked havoc in the area. The hurricane's eyeball, which is the most destructive part of a hurricane, had sustained winds of 120 miles per hour, causing severe damage to buildings and flooding. Two other hurricanes, Charlie and Hilda, also caused considerable destruction in 1955 and 1951. However, since the reported sightings began, no other hurricane has caused anywhere near the same destruction, mainly because the paths have been further away. This trend has fueled the legend that Amupac and its inhabitants are somehow protecting the people from hurricanes. As the legend of Amupac and the alien protectors spread, it led to the creation of a thriving tourism industry. Miramar Beach now boasts various alien-themed gift stands, and there's even restaurants named after these extraterrestrial visitors. To honor this legend and perhaps capitalize on the tourism, an unofficial holiday called Tamaulipas UFO Day was established. Who needs Christmas when you have an entire day dedicated to UFOs? During this occasion, the UFO Scientific Investigation Association of Tamaulipas, or ACOT for a Spanish acronym, organizes activities on Miramar Beach. Juan Lopez, the founder of ACOT, asserts that he visited Amupac through astral projection, which involves the individual's consciousness separating from their physical body and traveling through other dimensions. According to Lopez, Amupac is a base with a crystalline structure, its own lighting, and populated by 10-foot-tall aliens with blonde hair and blue eyes, often called Nordics in the UFO-interested community. These Nordics are allegedly scientists and psychologists who are studying humanity and protecting the coast. Lopez claims that they live in a higher state of consciousness outside of any space and time, but connected to this reality. I'm thinking what you're thinking. Like, what does that even mean? Because these objects have the ability to operate in air and underwater, they are known as transmedium crafts. When operating underwater, they get classified as unidentified submersible objects, or USOs, which have been part of alien folklore for many years. In fact, the Navy has sonar readings of USOs traveling at several hundred miles per hour underwater.
The interaction of US Navy submarines, nuclear ballistic missile submarines and attack submarines, picking up sonar contact of things moving at hundreds of knots under the water.
You should take USOs seriously. The US Navy is, as they have been involved in two well-known incidents in the recent past. In 2019, a vessel off the coast of California recorded a craft flying just above the water before submerging. Here is that video.
What was splashed? Mark bearing and range.
In 2004, Commander David Fravor, a US Navy fighter pilot, reports seeing a tic-tac-shaped object hovering above a disturbance in the ocean, which may have been an underwater base similar to Amupac. Journalist Jeremy Corbell, who often acts as a liaison between the military and the public, has proposed the existence of an underwater location or station where UFOs transit to and from, similar to an embassy in a foreign country. Who knew the ocean was a hotspot for alien activity? Is it possible that this legend holds some truth? Let's examine each component separately. Reports of USOs and UFOs have been documented worldwide for many decades, with military and commercial sensor data often capturing these unidentified objects. Therefore, it's not unreasonable to believe that similar phenomena could be taking place around Ciudad Madero, particularly given the thousands of reported sightings. However, While there have been many reports, there is no concrete evidence, such as clear photographs or sensor data, to confirm the existence of this phenomena at Miramar Beach. Thus, while it's possible, it remains unconfirmed. Now, let's examine the claim that Amupac has protected the coast from hurricanes. While it is true that Ciudad de Madero has not been hit by a hurricane since 1967, there have been at least 4 hurricanes that came close enough to the area to bring sustained winds of 60 to 90 miles per hour. These storms have caused somewhat significant damage, such as mobile homes being flipped over, small trees being uprooted, building roofs being damaged, minor flooding, and power outages due to damage to power lines and poles. But let's face it, if the aliens are really protecting the city, they're doing a half-assed job of it. However, it should be noted that the hurricanes that hit the area prior to the sightings, such as Inez, Charlie, and Hilda, mentioned before, caused much more devastating damage with sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. Such winds can cause major damage to homes, water, and electricity scarcity for weeks, and uprooting of many trees. In comparison, the damage is much less since sightings started. Suddenly, those sustained winds of 60 to 90 miles per hour doesn't seem so bad, does it? Although not completely shielded, I believe that the region has been fortunate enough to avoid some of the most severe hurricanes. But can this be attributed to Amupac? Is it possible that aliens have altered the path of the storms? There is no evidence to suggest that the aliens have interacted with the hurricanes in any way. If we look at the entire Mexican coastline, there are numerous areas where hurricanes have not made landfall, such as a 50-mile stretch in the Aldama region. Therefore, this is not an uncommon occurrence. As a result, I think it is improbable that these claims are true. I do leave a door open to the possibility because if they have transmedium vehicles, they could potentially do other wild things like control hurricanes. So, what's the deal with Juan Lopez's claim of astral projecting into Amupac? I don't want to sound like a complete skeptic, but this is a tough sell. While I'm not exactly convinced by his assertion, I'm not totally writing it off either. According to Dr. Stephen Greer, a famous UFO researcher, all you need to do is meditate and voila, you can project your consciousness across the universe. And get this, the CIA had a program on remote viewing. Yes, you heard that right. Humans could apparently see and experience faraway lands without ever leaving the comfort of their own mind. Talk about the best way to commute, am I right? Let's be real, the legend of Amupac is a goldmine for tourism in the area. It's like hitting the jackpot for the locals. Maybe that's the reason behind the legend in the first place. But one thing's for sure, it's definitely keeping the cash registers ringing. That being said, we should also be open-minded about the possibility that there are still many things we don't know or understand about our world and the universe. While we can't confirm or deny the existence of the Amupac aliens, we should be respectful of people's experiences and beliefs. It's possible that some of the sightings or stories about these beings are based on genuine encounters or misrepresentations of natural phenomena. Who knows, maybe one day we'll uncover the truth behind this fascinating tale. If anyone's heading out there in a private submarine to see the base for themselves, count me in. Because, let's be real, who doesn't want to go on an alien adventure?